what does it feel like to be in this building, particularly with your career starting in Boston and what you meant to that organization? Sure, did that add to how surreal today was?
It definitely did. But it's an honor, I was telling my wife, to be able to play for one of the most historical franchises, let alone to play for two, and to be here in purple and gold is a dream. I wish my mom was there to be able to see this, but it's exciting. It's definitely something that being in the East with Boston, I probably never would have thought of. But once I left, it became a possibility, and wanted to make sure it happened.
What made you choose the Lakers? I'm sure other teams were after you as well, but why here?
There's a lot of reasons, but the main one, being able to play with Luka and LeBron, two of the best to do it in this game. Two greats with greatest basketball IQ that I've ever seen in this era. And when you get a guy like Luka calling, referencing, checking on you, trying to see where you at to see, and that if you want to come and join something special that he's trying to cook up over here, and for him to say that to see that he can really use my help, that meant a lot. Played against Luka a lot. Been on a lot of opposing ends of Luka magic, and to be able to come out and be on his side at this time means a lot.
Did you and Luka have a relationship prior to this process? And if not, kind of how did that get going? Like, do you remember the first day he hit you up about this possibility?
I wouldn't say it was a relationship, but we definitely had a mutual understanding and respect for each other. After every game, playing, it was always, flowers, way to go, keep going, keep those guys going, and vice versa. It first came, my agent, I'm working out, and I get a call from my agent saying, hey, Luka's reached out. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, all right. And then another day, same thing, Luka reached out again. And now it's real, it's no longer what ifs. It's real, and it's something we need to talk about. And that was a great feeling, like I said, and that's kind of what got the things going for me to be here, and I'm excited to be here.
Once you were able to make that connection with Luka on the phone, like what's Luka the recruiter like? We know what the basketball players like. What's the recruiter like in him?
It's the same. He's a competitor, and he just the same way. He has that competitive nature when he's talking, when he's intrigued, and that's it. He didn't really have to say much. Luka, his name, his ability, what he has done, spoken for himself. And, for me, like I said, I've been on the other end of Luka magic. So, to be able to come and join and see it and witness it on the other side is something that I was like, why not give it a shot?
Where are you in terms of motivation at this stage of your career, considering, the way the last couple stops went after Boston, and also just physically compared to the guy who won Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I'm very motivated. The last 2 years for me was, in my eyes, a disappointment. Injuries kind of stopped me and held me back. But like I told my wife and my family, everything happens for a reason. And it's funny that 12 years ago, I could have been here. And now it's full circle and I'm here. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. And I just look at those reasons was for me to be here, to not play, and for people to look at me and say, maybe he isn't the same. And now that allows me to be in a place where I'm supposed to be.
Maybe it's obvious, but what will your role be here?
Just to be me, come in and do what I do, and that's, a tenacious defender, just bringing the intensity that I bring, my leadership, my basketball IQ as well, but just being the pest that I've always been.
I mean, no disrespect to Memphis, because when you were traded there, like the goal was very much so to win, and you guys were winning before the injuries and stuff like that. But what is the opportunity to play on this stage, high stakes basketball? How does that kind of figure into all of this?
Oh, it's at the top. I mean, the main goal, the reason you go out and you compete the way you compete is to try to win championships. And what better place to be able to do that than here, where the show starts and where the show ends. So that was definitely a big part of it, being able to get back on that stage, being able to get to a team that definitely could use me, and I know I can make an impact and help as well, and that was a perfect fit here.
You talked a lot about Luka, but I'm curious too, you've been on the other end of trying to stop LeBron from scoring. You've chased J.J. Redick around. I'm sure, a bunch too. What is it like to kind of work with those two guys in different roles, obviously, and what have the conversations been like with either of them?
It's been great, you know. I have been on the other end of those, you know, and I was able to learn and take away from both. You know, two different players, rightfully so in their own way, great at what they do. You know, JJ is one of the best shooters that we had, especially off the move in this league, and LeBron is who LeBron is, and we all know what he's capable of and what he's done in his career. And, you know, to be able to be on the other side to learn from him, not playing against him, but, you know, as a teammate, and just talking to JJ and, you know, reliving those moments and just really getting me back to understanding that, you know, I still have a lot left in the tank, and he's going to allow me to show it.
What did you learn about, even from afar, about JJ as a coach? Obviously, Dan mentioned that you played against him, but as a coach on the opposing end, what did you learn about him that you didn't know beforehand?
That he's the same as he played. No, but I don't think JJ gets a lot of credit for his IQ and ability of reading the game, not only as a player but as a coach. And I think being a player and played the way that he played in those many years helps him now as a coach.
This team won 50 games last year. They were the 3 seed in the West. Well, we look at the West like, I don't know, 12, 13 teams that think they have a shot to be a playoff team. How do you think they kind of, or you guys now stack in the standings going into the year? And look, what's your realistic shot of making a deep run?
I think we stack right up there with the best of them, you know, and I think we can. Our ceiling is high. I think there's no ceiling. I think if we all lock in and come and do what we're supposed to do, we can have a real good shot at it.
You were such a cultural piece in Boston. I know you said the job is to come here and be yourself. Is it a little different though when you go into a room that has more established leaders, people that have been in the building and stuff like that? And I guess how do you sort of envision navigating, kind of being you, but like maybe you're not the heartbeat of the team the same way, at least on day one.
Yeah,
as you were in
no.
Boston.
Listen, you know, I'm raised in the way I was raised, and the support staff I have around me. We all know nothing is given. You have to go earn it. You know, and that's who I am, and that's what I pride myself off of. I understand that I'm coming into, you know, a new home where, you know, there's already tenants here who've been here doing it for a while, and my job is to not come over and take over, but to come in and increase what they're already doing and help us be the best that we can be.
Do you know what number you're going to wear?
36, of course.
Since you did play for the Celtics, you know, Laker fans feel about the Celtics. have you encountered anything since you've been here? From
Not
Laker
yet,
fans saying something to
not
you?
yet. But I'm expecting it, and I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, man, I'm Brad.